Today, we will talk about history and success of Toro Seduto. Sitting Bull, known as Toro Seduto in Italian, is one of the most prominent Native American leaders in history. As a chief of the Hunkpapa Lakota Sioux, his life was marked by extraordinary leadership, strategic military actions, and an unwavering commitment to the preservation of his people's way of life. This comprehensive exploration delves into the key aspects of Sitting Bull's history and successes, examining his early life, his role in the resistance against U.S. expansion, and his enduring legacy. 1. Early life and background. Sitting Bull was born around 1831 near the Grand River in what is now South Dakota. His birth name was Jumping Badger, but he was later given the name Tatanka Iotek, which translates to Sitting Bull. He was born into a prominent family within the Hunkpapa band of the Lakota Sioux, a tribe known for their fierce resistance to encroaching settlers and U.S. military forces. From a young age, Sitting Bull exhibited remarkable skills in hunting, horsemanship, and leadership. By the time he was in his teens, he had already gained a reputation for his bravery and strategic mind. 2. Early conflicts and rise to leadership. The mid-19th century was a period of intense conflict between the Native American tribes and the U.S. government, driven by the latter's desire to expand westward. Sitting Bull first engaged in battle against the U.S. military in the 1860s during the Red Cloud's War, a series of conflicts over control of the Powder River country in present-day Wyoming. Sitting Bull's leadership and tactical acumen were quickly recognized. His ability to unify various Sioux bands and other tribes against a common enemy was instrumental in their resistance efforts. 3. The Great Sioux War and the Battle of the Little Bighorn. The discovery of gold in the Black Hills of South Dakota in the mid-1870s led to a surge of miners and settlers into Sioux territory, violating earlier treaties. The U.S. government attempted to force the Sioux onto reservations, but Sitting Bull and other leaders refused, valuing their traditional lands and way of life. In 1876, this tension erupted into the Great Sioux War. One of the most significant events of this conflict was the Battle of the Little Bighorn, also known as Custer's Last Stand. On June 25, 1876, Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer led the 7th Cavalry in an attack against the large encampment of Lakota, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho near the Little Bighorn River. 4. Aftermath of the battle. The victory at Little Bighorn was a significant but short-lived triumph. The U.S. government intensified its military efforts to subdue the Sioux and other resistant tribes. In the face of relentless pursuit by U.S. forces, Sitting Bull led his followers north to seek refuge in Canada. From 1877 to 1881, he and his people lived in relative peace in Canada, but harsh conditions and dwindling resources eventually forced them to return to the United States. In 1881, Sitting Bull surrendered to U.S. authorities, recognizing that continued resistance was futile. He was held as a prisoner of war for 2 years before being allowed to join his people on the Standing Rock Reservation in present-day North Dakota. 5. Life on the reservation and final years. Life on the reservation was a stark contrast to the freedom Sitting Bull had known. Despite these limitations, he remained a powerful symbol of resistance and a respected leader among his people. Sitting Bull's commitment to preserving Sioux culture and autonomy never wavered. He traveled with Buffalo Bill Cody's Wild West show for a brief period, using the opportunity to advocate for Native American rights and raise awareness of their plight. During this time, Sitting Bull also became involved with the Ghost Dance movement, a spiritual revival that promised the restoration of Native American lands and way of life. The U.S. government, fearing the movement would incite rebellion, sought to suppress it. 6. Death and legacy. In December 1890, tensions on the Standing Rock Reservation reached a peak. Concerned about Sitting Bull's influence and the potential for an uprising, Indian police were sent to arrest him. During the confrontation, a struggle ensued, and Sitting Bull was shot and killed on December 15, 1890. Sitting Bull's death marked the end of an era of significant Native American resistance to U.S. expansion. However, his legacy endures as a symbol of courage, leadership, and the enduring spirit of the Lakota people. He remains an iconic figure in Native American history, representing the struggle for justice and the preservation of indigenous cultures. 7. Cultural and historical impact. Sitting Bull's impact on both Native American and broader American history is profound. He is celebrated in numerous works of art, literature, and popular culture. His life story has been the subject of books, movies, and documentaries, which highlight his role as a warrior, leader, and advocate for his people. In Native American communities, Sitting Bull is remembered as a heroic figure who stood steadfastly against oppression and fought for the rights and dignity of his people. His teachings and legacy continue to inspire Native American activism and efforts to reclaim and preserve their heritage. 8. Modern interpretations and memorials. Today, Sitting Bull is honored in various ways. Monuments and memorials have been erected in his memory, including a statue at the site of his death in South Dakota. His contributions to the Native American struggle for autonomy and recognition are also commemorated in museums and cultural centers dedicated to preserving the history and heritage of the Sioux and other tribes. Sitting Bull's life has also inspired modern Native American leaders and activists who continue to fight for the rights and sovereignty of indigenous peoples. 9. Personal characteristics and leadership style. Sitting Bull's leadership was characterized by his deep spirituality, wisdom, and strategic thinking. He was not only a formidable warrior, but also a shrewd diplomat and a visionary leader. His ability to unite different factions of the Sioux and other tribes under a common cause was instrumental in their resistance efforts. Sitting Bull's leadership style was rooted in traditional Lakota values. He emphasized the importance of community, respect for the natural world, and the preservation of cultural traditions. 10. Influence on Native American identity. Sitting Bull's legacy has had a lasting influence on Native American identity and self-perception. He is a symbol of pride and resistance, embodying the struggle for autonomy and cultural preservation. His life and achievements are celebrated not only by the Lakota, but also by Native American communities across North America. In contemporary Native American movements, Sitting Bull's example continues to inspire efforts to address issues such as land rights, cultural preservation, and political representation. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.